Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to VGC Worlds 2017. Here I am showcasing a brand new team. The team that I'm using today got second place at a pretty important Japanese tournament. Which one? I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it was big. So trying to showcase this strategy, which is pretty unique. In the description down below you can see the different TV spreads and everything, and the natures and movesets. Mostly it's a very original Celesteela which is Jolly max speed. Ninetales has the Toxic in there and the Icy Wind for speed control, and you have a Snorlax as well, which is pretty decent. I actually do really like Snorlax here. I like the Tapu Koko plus Ninetales lead. His Araquanid deters my own Ninetales. But I do have to account for his Kartana. So despite, if there's Trick Room up, Snorlax can deal with Araquanid. And I could also, there's an argument for Gastrodon, but I feel like Snorlax is a little bit better here. Has a little bit more, well, maybe not more bulk, but has more offensive presence, I would say, and it's not completely weak to Kartana. What's her win condition here though? It's not very clear. I wouldn't actually mind if my opponent sets up the Trick Room to start off. A Porygon 2, I would love to see a Porygon 2 lead so that I can Toxic it right away. But no, we see Arcanine and Muck, which is most definitely not good news. Both Pokemon threaten both my leads. The only way I could have dealt with that would have been with a Gastrodon Arcanine lead myself. The Intimidate doesn't affect me. Tapu Koko is pretty threatened here though. What's my best line of offense here? I think switching out Ninetales for Arcanine makes sense, but I feel like Ninetales is way less, or way more, like, I can give up Ninetales a lot easier. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna protect Tapu Koko, and I'm gonna switch, well, I'm gonna switch in Ninetales. I get the Intimidate on potentially both physical attackers of my opponent. I can try and burn the Muck as well. The Protect on Tapu Koko secures it kind of against a C move from Arcanine. So we'll see what happens here. There's a Flare Blitz onto Tapu Koko, that's great, and we see a Poison Jab onto what would have been Ninetales. So an Intimidate Poison Jab still deals a pretty decent amount of damage. Not too much though, thankfully. But yeah, Tapu Koko is pretty important, I would say, due to the terrain, and mostly because it has a really strong Thunderbolt. So I'm gonna switch out Tapu Koko for Snorlax now, and I'm going to try and burn the Muck. Both Pokemon from my opponent are intimidated, which is obviously great news. I would love to see Muck stay in and not protect. I think Muck is a bigger threat here. Not entirely sure though, but if I manage to burn the Muck... Okay, so there we go. Tapu Koko switches out for Snorlax. We might see a knockoff now on the Arcanine instead of the Poison Jab. Okay, no Protect, and the Will-O-Wisp connects. connect. That's great. Sorry, I'm a bit I have the flu right now. Okay, yeah, that Flare Blitz literally does negative damage practically. And he went for the knockoff on Snorlax, which does have the C move, so that's pretty great. Because that deals very little damage. And with the burn and the intimidate, Mug is or has been rendered pretty much useless. So trade a little bit of HP on my Snorlax for better positioning. And now there's still the threat of Araquanid. Although Araquanid would definitely not enjoy, would most definitely not enjoy getting burned. So I feel like I could go for a high horsepower pretty safely onto the Arcanine slot. And I can try and whittle down the Muk a little bit more. Although maybe doubling up on the Arcanine is a better idea. Okay, I'm gonna spread my damage a little bit, I guess. I can potentially go after the Arcanine the next turn. He does switch out Muk for the Araquanid, okay. Which is fine, I think. This flamethrower is gonna do minimum damage. Arcanine goes for the Flare Blitz once again onto the Snorlax, so maybe trying to go for a burn himself. 10% chance. 10% chance. Man, why? That's so unfair. 10% chance. I was outplaying my opponent every turn. Every single turn. Okay. The Mug is burnt. If I can burn the Araquanid as well, that would be pretty good. High horsepower will not KO the Arcanine though. But what can Arcanine really do back? I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna try to burn the Araquanid, although Araquanid is not that big a threat, I would say. Arcanine is a much bigger threat. Oh, the water bubble. Oh, I am so stupid. I am so stupid. That was so bad. Oh, I need a substitute on Araquanid. Wow. That was so dumb of me. So dumb of me. Okay. And he has a berry on the Arcanine. Oh. Man, that was really bad for me. Really bad. And to top things off, damn it. And to top things off, I got burnt. Okay, I have the Ninetales and I have Tapu Koko. If I can somehow break the Araquanid substitute. See, but I need damage on the Arcanine as well. Well, I need damage on everything. Okay, would a wild charge? And what's Araquanid going to do? Is it going to focus down my Snorlax? I think it is. So I'm gonna protect Snorlax, even though it's burnt. And I'm gonna extreme speed the Araquanid. Try to break that substitute. If the extreme speed can break the substitute, which I really doubt it can. Okay, there's a Muk. That's a lesser threat, I would say. Hopefully Araquanid went after the Snorlax. If it didn't, then that Protect was a big mistake. Okay, it did. Thankfully, it did. The hail stops, but now... Okay, he has Liquidation, he has Substitute. We don't see any form of healing. Muk got a little bit more damage. Muk still has its berry though, right? Okay. I'm gonna try to use my C move, I guess. Onto the Muk, and I'm gonna extreme speed the Araquanid to break that substitute. Now it should break. There we go. Muk uses knockoff onto the Arcanine. I was really hoping to heal. And the Liquidation does go onto the Snorlax and does get the KO. Okay. So, can a burned Muk KO my Tapu Koko? I doubt it. But bringing in Ninetales makes more sense here, I think. Man, that burn on the Snorlax might be the reason why we lose here. We still don't know my opponent's last Pokemon though. If it's Kartana, if it's actually Kartana, I'm pretty screwed here. I am pretty screwed. I guess I have to flamethrower the Muk. Araquanid protects. Yeah, that was so obvious, but and I prompt the berry. Yeah, I'm not gonna win. My Pokemon are too heavily damaged. That burn on the Snorlax. Not only did it add residual damage, but it didn't let me KO the freaking Arcanine from my opponent. That was terrible. Yeah, I don't think I can win here anymore. Our Arcanine's gonna get KO'd from the hail, so it's gonna be Tapu Koko against the world. It's literally going to be Tapu Koko against the world. Flamethrower gets a crit. It's not gonna matter. Man. That burn, guys. How could he get that 10% chance? Ugh. Yeah, now it's 3-on-1. Three on one. And my opponent probably still has Kartana, his own Tapu, he has Arcanine as well. Doesn't even show the fourth Pokemon, but if it's Porygon 2, I'm screwed. If it's Kartana, I'm screwed. If it's Tapu Koko, I'm screwed. So I can't win. That burn. That burn was super annoying. super annoying. That burn was just absolutely terrible. No. That burn really sucked. If it had not been for that burn, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we would have stood a much better chance, you know? Much better chance. I guess in the games I played off screen, I did get very lucky quite a few times myself, so it was bound to come back to me, but it's unfortunate that it's the one game I showcase in the video, you know, and it was against a really high rated player as well. So I don't know. Maybe I should have brought Gastrodon. Because if my opponent's last Pokemon was Tapu Koko, I mean, it makes sense for it to be Kartana, otherwise Gastrodon would have put in so much work against his team. But maybe I should have played to protect Gastrodon instead of to protect Tapu Koko, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the burn, like, you can't account for a 10% chance, or you can, but what could I have done differently there? Like, seriously, what could I have done differently right there? If he doesn't burn me, the high horsepower brings him down to the berry, and then I can C-move or something. The residual damage was piling up. He had a burnt mug, an intimidated Arcanine against a thick fat Snorlax. Oh boy, and now we can't even find an opposing trainer. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. I mean, I know that's part of the game. Like I mentioned, I did get pretty lucky with a freeze off of Blizzard one game, where without it I probably wouldn't have won. So I guess it's kind of like the situation we were just in. Without the burn, I feel like we would have stood a much better chance, and we would be closing in on the 1700s by now. But what can you do? You know? Okay. Finally find a Japanese opponent with Tapu Koko, Togedemaru, Garchomp, Milotic, Nihilego, and Kartana. Now the mind games here are always like really sucky, I would say. Gastrodon is great here though. Gastrodon is absolutely fantastic here. So I'm gonna play to the Gastrodon win condition. Celesteela would be good as well, but that means I really need to find a way to get rid of the Kartana. I mean, Kartana doesn't do much back to Celesteela, but Celesteela can't do much to Kartana anyways. And yeah, Celesteela is up against Tapu Koko and Togedemaru, so never mind. Definitely don't want to bring in the... Okay, see, the issue here is the Choice Scarf. Where does my opponent have the Choice Scarf? On the Garchomp? On the Nihilego? On Kartana? On neither? Okay. I'm gonna lead Ninetales? Snorlax, I think. Ninetales, Snorlax, and I'm gonna have Gastrodon and Tapu Koko in the back. I'm not entirely sure. I've never led Snorlax, but maybe it can put in the work. Basically, I don't want to be so weak. Nihilego is the scariest Pokemon of my opponent's team after Kartana, I would say. So I do like having the... should have brought Arcanine probably. Togedemaru and Nihilego, okay. So he has access to the Fake Out. Snorlax can protect here, but I will not protect because of the potential Encore off of Togedemaru. The hail does mean that if Nihilego is focus sashed or Togedemaru is focus sashed, I will be able to deal with them easily. I feel like Nihilego is a lot bigger threat right here because I do have Gastrodon, so if he for some reason doesn't go for the fake out on the Snorlax, I will get a high horsepower off onto the Nihilego, which is 4 times super effective. But the fake out does go to the Snorlax, which makes sense. Sludge Bomb does go into the Gastrodon, which does resist, which is great. That's the poison, of course, and reveals the life orb. The freaking poison, come on. What's with all these secondary effects for my opponents? Okay. No. That deals so much damage. Okay. I should have brought Arcanine. How did I not bring Arcanine? That was pretty silly of me. But anyways, I'm gonna recover with Gastrodon. And I'm gonna go for the high horsepower onto a Nihilego slot once again. I don't know what Togedemaru will do. Maybe it will try to nuzzle. It does withdraw the Nihilego onto Kartana. So as long as I connect the high horsepower, I will break the Focus Sash. I did consider Scalding the Nihilego slot as well, but I get a recover off. I feel like that's pretty decent. High horsepower does connect, thankfully. And seeing that damage plus the hail, I mean, that was neutral damage. Would a C move be enough to KO Kartana? And would I possibly be okay with letting Gastrodon go down? I don't think so. Snorlax really shouldn't go down here though. And does he protect Kartana even though it's the fastest Pokemon in the field? I don't think so. He might switch out Togedemaru. That's a possibility, because Togedemaru is not accomplishing too much. He could flinch my Snorlax. He could Sing Sap, Sing Tag, whatever attack that is. Gastrodon protects, that means Kartana did not protect. So hopefully the C move plus the hail is enough to KO Kartana. And we see a Nuzzle, okay. So as long as I don't get fully paralyzed. Please don't get fully paralyzed, Snorlax. Okay, there's the C move. Great. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. My opponent has a Nihilego, which we know is not Scarfed, which is also pretty good because Tapu Koko can KO it with a Thunderbolt. And I have the Hidden Power Ground. And oh, it's not enough. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. So now what do I do? How important is the Focus Sash on the Ninetales? I don't think it's very important. Huh. Yeah. I'm gonna protect the Snorlax this turn. If Kartana stays in, which it doesn't, he brings in a Nihilego. Man, is he going to nuzzle the Gastrodon? Is he seriously going to nuzzle the Gastrodon? If he nuzzles the Gastrodon slot, no way. Wow. Oh wow. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty impressive. That is definitely pretty impressive. And now my opponent can and probably will flinch and or paralyze me. Can Snorlax get an attack off? I doubt it. Once again, the poison damage. If Gastron wasn't poisoned, like I switch out right now, if Gastron wasn't poisoned, I would have a much easier time right here. Much easier time. I'm keeping the Ninetales because I do need the Hail up for whenever eventually I do get for the Kartana rather. Although my opponent's Pokemon are slowly getting chipped down, right? The Citrus Berry does activate, which is nice. Can I get an attack off though? Oh, reversal! Oh, but that's fine. Because I have not damaged Togedemaru. And I don't miss and I don't get fully paralyzed. Yes. Nihilego goes down. Okay. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. The Hail does stop. The Hail stops. Reversal. Wow. Does that mean Togedemaru had the Focus Sash all along? Possibly. Okay. Do I let Gastrodon go down here? If my opponent's last Pokemon is Tapu Koko, see, the thing is, Ninetales is paralyzed, so I might as well get rid of Ninetales. And if Kartana goes after the Snorlax, that means Ninetales. Oh, no, I should have protected Snorlax. That was really dumb. Wow, that was really bad. That was actually pretty bad. I should have. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should have kept Gastrodon in and switched out Snorlax for he did go after the Snorlax. Okay. I feel like, well, depending on what my opponent's last Pokemon is, not protecting Snorlax there was absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Okay. We are, however, about to see my opponent's last Pokemon. Right? Is it gonna be Choice Scarf? Okay. I'm gonna bring in Gastrodon because whatever it is... Okay, it's Tapu Koko. Okay. That gives me a little bit more peace, I guess. It's Hypno. Man, that Nuzzle play from my opponent was just absolutely huge. Okay. I need one attack off here. I need either the Blizzard or the Scald. Actually, should have gone for the Icy Wind. Okay. He goes for the Thunderbolt, which doesn't even KO the Ninetales. And he goes for the Reversal onto Gastrodon, which literally does nothing. So let's see how much damage this does. Okay, that's a very respectable amount of damage. And the Scald knocks out Tapu Koko. So that's great. Wow. Certainly felt quite difficult there for a second, especially after I didn't protect the Snorlax. I thought the poison damage might have been a factor, but now it's a 3-on-1. Whatever Togedemaru does, he cannot KO both Pokemon, and you would assume he will try to reversal the Gastrodon. So I'm just gonna protect the Gastrodon for whatever reason. I have a Life Orb Tapu Koko with Hidden Power Ground in the back, so I'm pretty confident I have this one in the back. Ninetales gets fully paralyzed. Doesn't really matter though. Doesn't really matter. Now I just double up. The Hail is dealing some damage to the Togedemaru. Let's try to Scald, whatever. I have the faster Tapu Koko in the back, so reversal will get a KO on the Gastrodon. I could get fully paralyzed once again. It doesn't matter. And the Blizzard connects. Single target is enough to KO. So we don't even reveal. No, I did. Did I lead Tapu Koko? I'm not sure. Yeah, I did lead Tapu Koko, right? But we get a pretty solid win, I would say. A pretty hard fought win, but a win nonetheless. And that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. The English VGC videos have been getting so much support, like more than the Spanish VGC videos, which I'm really surprised about. But that makes me really happy. So thank you guys so much. That's gonna be it from me today. And I will see you guys next week with a brand new team. I guess I should change the name from this series to Road to VGC Worlds 2017 to something more accurate or appropriate, like VGC Strategy Showcase or something like that. VGC17 Strategy Showcase, because unfortunately I'm not really gonna try to qualify this year for both worlds. I'm just doing TCG unlike last year. But anyways, I'm rambling now. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you guys next week with a brand new team. Bye bye.